Welcome back to another episode of Retired Rector Podcast. Today I have with me a special guest, somebody I knew for a long time, one of the area's top hoopers, man. He's somebody who I used to watch when we was coming up together, who I would go watch their games because he was just a bucket. And it was just fun to watch and just fun to, just be around, man. And shout out to Shannon Givens in the building today.
Hey, my guy, appreciate
What's up,
you.
bro?
So how you doing?
Showing out, man. So yeah, man. Today we're gonna get into your story. We're gonna, we're gonna go back into like 8th, 9th grade. Like, who was your mindset? Was it hoop dreams? Was it like you was into something else? I know you come from a hoop family for real.
Right.
So it probably did start early, but you can walk us through that. Like, take us back to 8th, 9th grade. What was your mindset?
Man, 8th, 9th grade. Let's see. So as an 8th grader, my biggest thing was just thinking about like playing high school basketball, varsity basketball. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends, I always played upper age group as a young kid. So a lot of my friends were, when I was in 8th grade, was already in high school.
Right.
So they were playing varsity basketball, getting a lot of time, also their classes, getting MVPs, all types of stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm trying to be like them. Like, you know what I mean? My thing was, I think around like 7th, 8th grade was really when I started to come into myself as a player.
Right.
When I was younger, I was on and off. Like, I was playing, I wasn't really playing. Sometimes like you get the bum minutes, you know what I mean? But around 7th, 8th grade, I really started coming into, myself, start losing a little bit of weight, you know what I mean? And all I really know that I just wanted to go to high school and, be a varsity basketball player.
Right.
You know what I mean? As an 8th grader, I played JV at ANC. And then as a freshman, I was only able to play 1 quarter of JV because, if you play varsity in the Friends League, they only let you play 1 quarter of JV.
Right.
So I always played the 4th quarter of every JV game, warm me up for the varsity game.
Right.
I used to go in the JV game and try to score 50.
Right. No, facts. So take us back to, I remember y'all playing with Renegades. I remember y'all playing with Hood and Rich. Right. Take us back to those times, man. Like, what was those times? Like, how was those times like?
Renegades, Hood and Rich, all that. Iron the Eagles, man. Listen, like, I'm gonna start back because Iron the Eagles was really like the first.
Right.
Iron the Eagles, we was a top team in the city. Like, we really had so many championships, city rec titles. Right.
Basketball? I always thought Iron the Eagles was a football team too.
It was a football team. We
had
a lot of good basketball.
Y'all had a hoop team too, though.
Yeah, we had a hoop team.
I never heard that.
We was probably the best young bulls in the city of Philadelphia.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna say that because you've been in my mom's career.
Right.
You see the trophies. I don't lie. The trophies don't lie. You feel what I'm saying? For our age group, you know what I mean? Yeah. So from Iron the Eagles, we took like our starting 5 or 6 guys. It was Lenny Young, Velvin Jones, Sammy, me, Darryl Dawson, Tamir Johnson. We went from Iron the Eagles to Renegades. We started venturing out, playing the Suburban 1 team, stuff like that. We got introduced to AAU basketball that way. Shout out to my guy, Coach Ken Ross. He was the guy taking us all over the place and everything like that. And my guy Kenny, you remember Kenny?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my guy, still to this day. But yeah, we went from Renegades, and then we started venturing off to teams like Hood and Rich and stuff like that. And really, when Hood and Rich started, it really was kind of like a mix between Oakland Wildcats and Iron the Eagles for real. Like that was really like the bulk of a lot of the guys on the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Oakland and Iron Eagles, we were in a lot of championships playing against each other. They beat us like 1 time maybe. But like a lot of guys from their team and a lot of guys from our team, we went and played together on Hood and Rich. And then, stuff like from there, we tried to get guys to come to our high school, come play with us. We try to, build a relationship with people so we know, like, we've been playing with guys our whole entire lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had that chemistry when we go to high school.
Right. No, fact. So y'all end up going to ANC. That's what I want you to talk about next. ANC. How do you get to ANC? Where's ANC? I never heard of ANC until I heard of you and your family.
Right.
How'd y'all end up at ANC?
Okay, so
and I say y'all, I mean you, but there's an older brother. Shout out to Sin. Shout out to Big Sin. To my guy. So when I say y'all, I mean you and your brother. How did y'all end up at ANC?
So what a lot of people don't know is my pop, Kevin Givens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my pop from Winfield, West Philly area. So he was going to Mitchell Prep at the time. It's not even a school anymore.
Right.
So his junior year, he was getting recruited he was playing up at, I think, in Conshohocken Fellowship House.
Down the Frio tournament.
So, my pop got buckets, by the way. Very glad buckets. So, he got recruited by ANC, by Andy Davis, which was my football coach in high school. But so my dad went to ANC his senior year of high school. He only went for 1 year.
Okay.
Scored, like 580 points in the season. It was only twos back then too.
Right.
He was a bucket. A jack too, but he was a bucket. So, and from there, he gained a relationship with a lot of people up there. Still to this day, some of the people at the school, big donors and all this other stuff. His friends that he was actually went to school with had been in the dorm with.
Right.
One of his good friends is actually one of the partners of the Wizards, the Capitals, and all that other stuff. So he went there his senior year, and then as time went on, he went to college and played pro and all that stuff like that. He knew that was a better situation for him, so he wanted me and Sammy in that situation, and my oldest brother Kev.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me and Sammy started at ANC in kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we started young, so kindergarten all the way through high school. You know what I mean? Well, Sammy made it all the way through high school. I didn't quite make it, but I tried. You know what I'm saying? So that's how our parents wanted us to be there. My dad has actually been the high school basketball coach there since I think it was '94.
Okay. I didn't know he did that long.
Yeah, he been there for a grip.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's basically the story on how we got there. You know what I mean?
But so all right. So take us to them first, the 9th, 10th grade years. That you left ANC when 11th grade.
No, well, I was on and off throughout high school. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Long story short, I was on and off throughout high school, but my senior year was when I transferred to Fells, and I ended my senior season at Fells.
Okay, so I want to go from that freshman, them great teams y'all had at ANC. Y'all had a few years when y'all was really good in high school. Y'all was like nationally ranked. So I want to talk about some of those times. Like, what was those times like? I mean, you was playing with your brother, y'all team. Like, what was that like? Y'all was traveling around.
Man, it was like the greatest feeling ever. Like, you know what I mean? To start getting that publicity.
Right.
You got scouts. You got people coming from Tribune, different newspaper articles. People coming up here recording practice, taking pictures, just giving us the gratitude that we deserve. You know, it was like shot heard around the world when we beat the number 1 team in the nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we did that my junior year, bro, it was crazy. And crazy. Who was the coach at the time? Was it Hurley at St. Benedict's?
I want to say Bob Hurley.
Yeah. So he told them not to even play us. Because it was her. We played American Christian, we played Apex. We we playing top teams and contending and beating these teams. So it's like, yo, it's not a team to play around with. Right? So we went in there and got the job done. We won by I think 3 points. They had big time players. They had Tristan Thompson. They had Samardo Samuels, Greg Echanike. I said, who else? Point guard from Iona.
Machado?
Scott Machado. Was Mike playing on the team? Michael Mongo? Nah, he might have been on the team. Yeah, but they had a lot of top guys, you know what I mean? I was leading scorer of both teams, by the way. Buckets. Both teams. I ain't say my team, both teams.
Right. Leader scorer in the game. No, fact. So y'all ANC team was good. It was great. Actually, I was on my way there.
Yeah, you was on your way there. I remember we was trying to get you. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We had early mornings come to Norristown.
They had a damn SAT placement test where they felt like she was like a crazy placement test that I was not prepared for, to say the least. So I didn't end up getting in there, but I was definitely watching y'all and following y'all, and y'all was putting on at a high level. So let's stay in this time of like high school. We in 05 through 09. You graduated high school in 09.
Yeah.
So from that era, 05 to 09, you got 5 guys you can take with you to go play anywhere versus somebody else's best 5. Let me hear your 5. And you on the 5 too. So you the point or the 2 and that 5. And you got 5 guys to take with you.
Sammy, Shannon, me,
Yeah.
Kenny, Larry, and Clay. My starting five, my junior year.
Kenny Ross,
Larry Lockery,
I call him Dr.
Clay Pinnicott.
Yeah, where did Clay end up playing at?
Clay went to was it Catholic.
Yeah, I ain't heard that name. I remember him from back in the day.
Sniper.
Yeah,
Sniper.
It was definitely cash. Okay, so you rocking out with your junior year A&C squad.
A&C squad, yeah. Because I feel like, because a lot of people don't know is like when we went to Renegades and stuff like that, that was our Renegades team after a while, like, and we went to nationals, top 20 every year, Nike tournaments, top, you know what I mean, and we beat a lot of guys across the country that was, top guys. I remember when we was playing like D1 Greyhounds, even though they older than us, OJ Mayo and them, he was cooking them, but Billy, all them dudes, like, you know what I mean, but and I remember when we played Master P team, when they had Brandon Jennings and all them dudes like that, like, but we had so much chemistry together, and it wasn't about, we weren't the best guys in the area, you know what I mean? We had some guys like Sammy had a pretty good name, I might have had a little bit of buzz at that time, and then we were all pretty much, our chemistry beat a lot of the talent, and that's what a lot of people didn't understand, like, so I would take those guys from our high school years to play against anybody.
Right. Respectable. So staying in high school and staying back in that era, there's a guy from our area who's a legend who passed away. His name is Johnny H.
My guy.
So just talk to us about Johnny H and his influence on you as a kid. Because I remember you being around him, you and your brother being around him a lot. And all kids wasn't even privy to really, I mean, he worked with a lot of kids, but y'all were tight-knit with Johnny H. So let's talk to him about him, a couple words, or like maybe he gave you or whatever. Just tell us a little bit about Johnny H.
Man, R.P. to Johnny H is my guy. He was really a good role model. You know what I mean? Like, and one thing I can say about John, and everybody, talk they little stuff about him or whatever, but one thing I would say about him is he took care of everybody. That's one thing. Whether you were somebody on the top level to somebody that was playing D3 basketball, or you was a kid that was in, playing JV basketball, trying to get to the varsity level, to a kid that was, scoring 30 points a game on the varsity level. Like, he took care of everybody the same way. You know what I mean? He treated people the same. You know what I mean? Like, he picked 10 kids up every day. And then after he worked them out, take them to the buffet to eat. And then drop everybody off at their crib. Make sure everybody got home, like, and like he really took care of everybody, and really is like a role model in kind of ways, because a lot of people didn't come from, 2-parent homes. Mom and dad wasn't around, and all their family knew was selling drugs or something like that. Like, we was taking kids out the hood and showing them a different way, and trying to put kids in college and let them play basketball so they can get out of the life that they were, brought up to be in. You know what I mean? So one thing about Johnny H was he was just a special dude. You know what I mean? Like, off the basketball, like he taught me a lot basketball wise, but the things I learned from him off the court is really why I do a lot of stuff I do today. And you know what I mean? Like I told you before, like I could have, I had a chance to start coaching college basketball a few times, but I denied those positions because I want to be able to help people. And I feel like if I, start coaching college, I'm not going to be able to help as many kids as I can. Like, I want to see kids get to college. I want to see kids go to school for free. I want to, you know what I mean? Even if they got to pay a little bit of money, taking out a little bit of loans or something like that, is better than being home and getting yourself caught up. Because, Philly's crazy. You know what I mean? So, like, me just giving back and helping kids and doing the stuff I do, like, that's what makes me happy. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot of that from John.
No, definitely, man. Shout out to Johnny H, man, John Arnett. Rest in peace for sure. For sure. So we saw stay in high school. You did your first 3 years at, you did. You end up going to Fells for your senior year, playing the public league. Talk to me about, I want to get to the college recruitment part. So you in Fells, you finish at Fells. Talk to me about your college recruitment experience and how you ultimately ended up choosing Drexel.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep it 100. So my junior year, and as Sammy was choosing Drexel, I was like, I'm not going to Drexel. But our dream was to play high school basketball together, college basketball player, become pro basketball players.
Right.
And so I'm like, man, because we went to a few games, you know, we always go to games, and we're like, man, I just don't like Drexel. Like, it ain't my thing. And also, I was a football player, you know what I mean? So I was getting recruited to go to schools to play football as well, but I'm like, nah, I'm a basketball player too, so I'm a better basketball player, so I'm gonna just go play basketball.
Right.
But at first, yeah, Drexel wasn't my choice. But, you know, they kept bringing me down there, you know what I mean? Sam was having fun there, and, you know, Sam convinced me like it was a good place to be, and I was just like, I think about it, you know what I mean? But I ended up committing like junior year. So like I was getting recruited by a lot of schools, but I stopped my recruitment early.
Right.
I told everybody, like towards the end of my junior year, I told everybody I was going to Drexel. So I didn't even visit no other schools.
Right.
I had plenty of schools to visit, but I just was like, no, I'm going to Drexel.
Right.
So, you know, my senior year, you know, I ended up at Fells, and Fells was, you know, I'm coming from private school, you know what I mean? It's a whole different ball. Coming from ANC to Fells, it was different, bro. Like just the atmosphere. Like I remember days, and I tell my mom to this day, like when I graduated, it said that I missed 75 days of school.
Your senior year?
My senior year, 75 days of school. And she like, but I was taking you to school every day. So, but it wasn't that I wasn't going to school. It was just like, you know, this is the first time I ever had to swipe in. So swiping with my ID, every day you didn't swipe in.
Right.
You know, so even if you go to some classes, it still counts you as you missed a day.
Right.
So, you know, it's 5 different lunch periods. I'm coming from a school where the whole school goes lunch. We only got 300 kids in the school.
Right.
So it's 5 different lunch periods. Sometimes I might be at 3 lunch periods. Sometimes I might be at 2.
Right.
Sometimes I might be at all 5.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You know, cut a little class here or there, but all together, like it was definitely different. It was way easier.
The academic
part was way easier. But, you know, some of my lifelong friends that I still value to this day, like I got from Fells. We had a great basketball coach. Shout out to my guy Joe. And the experience playing there it was great. Like I was, you know what I mean. I was top player in the school. You know what I mean. It felt great. People loved me. Fucking faculty at school held me to a higher standard. Like, you know what I mean. I never got that type of attention from my peers like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because even people in ANC, they've known me my whole entire life. When I got there, scholarship athlete, I'm going to Drexel, they just treated me different. Like I was on the highest pedestal ever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. I remember one day we had a riot in school. The principal came and got me.
Make sure Shannon
cool.
Right.
He graduated from Drexel when I was going there, so he was like, yo, we taking care of him.
Right. Make sure he don't get caught up.
Yeah, make sure he don't, you know what I mean? Like, I was on the highest pedestal ever, bro. Like, it was crazy. Like, I was, my mom was like, she was like, how you miss 75 days of school? They didn't even call me. Right. I was up here. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And when I graduated, they gave me my own personal shout out.
Right.
It was crazy. I was like,
it was honored.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? Like when the nomination for the McDonald's All-American game came, they stopped school and put it on a loudspeaker. They said everybody, Shannon Givens has made the nomination, and everybody was clapping for him and everything. I was just like, I was all embarrassed. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, cheeks was red, probably. Like, no, it was a great feeling though all together, man. It was a great feeling. I had a great time.
No, that's love. All right, so you end up going to Drexel. Take us to that freshman year, man. Playing for Brew up there, man. Brew is known to be a hard-nosed coach, and he gets at his players. So take me through that freshman year playing for Brew and how that went for you.
So freshman year started off pretty good. You know, workouts. We had to go to school in the summertime. Working out in the summertime. You know, we living good. We got apartments, thinking everything good, got straight A's, you know what I mean? Then we get to the season, you know, we make it through preseason. I'm doing well through preseason, making them runs, 2020s and all that. And then, you know, we get to, you know, I'm working hard, but I'm still a freshman at the time. And I understood that, you know, but, you know, Brew, like, I don't know what it was, but like he was on my ass, like crazy.
Right.
Like I was always getting screamed and yelled at. And not that I think that was a bad thing. It was just like, sometimes it was just a little overboard, like, you know what I mean? It was like, and it was so crazy because like I told you, I'm coming off this high pedestal. Now I'm back down to the bottom of the barrel. Like, it's that feeling is so crazy. Like, you know, you in college, you're a freshman in college, you're just coming from damn near never getting taken out of a basketball game, to be the leading scorer, averaging 20-some points a game, to doing this.
No, I definitely relate.
And not to say that it was like Brew was a bad coach or anything like that. Like he didn't see my talent or anything like that. It was just like we had a good. I think we had a good team, right? We didn't do as well as we should have, and you know what I mean. Like the guy that was in front of me, my guy Jamie Harris, he was averaging like 16 points a game at the time. So I understood that I wasn't going to play a whole lot. You know what I mean? But it was like. But for our team to be better, he needed a break every now and then. Not so I can get in there and shine and let me get 30 points. Like 2-3 minutes here, 2-3 minutes here. Give my man a break. His Brew's biggest thing was defense. We always had to be a good defensive team for us to win games. And that's pretty much, I think pretty much every coach's mindset. But we practice defense the most. Shell drill is crazy. Like it's mandatory. You got to get 3-4 stops in a row, then you get off the court. We might stay with shell drill for an hour and a half.
Dang.
You remember shell drill?
Yeah,
like, So his big thing was defense, but like it was tough, man. Like my thing was I wanted to play basketball. Like I was feeling like basketball was kind of being taken away from me. Like that shit was so depressing, bro. Like it was just like I don't know. Like I was like you start doing other things, partying hard, because it was like I had to do something to make me happy. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy, man. Like it was a bad feeling because it was like the first time I was just like, yo, I'm not happy. My grades dropped because it was like sports was fueling the fire.
Sports was motivating you to be a good student.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So and it was just like I wasn't playing, I wasn't happy. I was just like, man, and I just kept asking like, yo. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes like I played more than others, I played well, you know what I mean? And it was just like I go from one game to playing well, might have had 12 points, got a lot of good time. And it was one game I had 12 points, they gave me the game winning shot. I didn't make it, but the game after that I didn't play at all. But it was just like damn, am I really like I start second guessing myself. Like we playing against schools that I got recruited by. I remember playing against Rutgers. And Rutgers recruited me, they brought me up because they brought us to a team camp. I didn't really have an official visit there, but I was there on the team camp. They brought me in the office, you know, blah blah blah. You know how to go. And we played Rutgers. This crushed me, bro. This crushed me. Like I think I should have teared. Probably a couple tears.
DMP?
I didn't play.
That's tough. Yeah,
I didn't play, bro. Like that was one of our first games. That might have been our first game. And I was just like, wow, I didn't play.
Right.
No, who am I?
No, your freshman year might have been worse than mine just because on the simple fact that they was actually giving you opportunities and then taking them away. So you're like, oh, I can play. Oh, like I might play today. Like I got to the point where I just was like, oh, I know I'm not playing. I only even stepped on the court in 5 games. So it was a little, I'm not gonna say it was easier. I was going through all the same shit you was going through, frustrated, like what the fuck is going on here? But I knew I wasn't gonna play. Funny, I got to tell a quick funny story, right? I just told this story to somebody. So I was coming to games with my boxers on underneath my shorts, 5X t-shirts underneath my jersey because I wasn't expecting to get in. So I'm like, it don't even matter what I got on. One time I got in, it's a picture. I gotta find a picture. I got like a 5X t-shirt underneath my jersey. Wasn't expecting to get in. We ended up blew somebody out. I was getting blown out. One of the other. That's the only way I was getting in.
Right.
But yeah, that shit is frustrating, man. That shit is tough. Man.
But I was used to so much different. You know what I mean? I was used to like Division I basketball. You know, we getting per diem, we getting all this gear, we getting free meals, we getting, you know what I mean? We getting and shout out to per diem because we got through with that.
Right. No, Christmas breaks and stuff.
Christmas breaks, you gotta stay on campus. They get everybody on the team 250, 300, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I was thinking sometimes we got over the limit because we went to Cali one time, and then we played Cal State. I think we played Cal State, and then we played what's it Cal? I don't know. Something with California. Then we went and played Kentucky.
Right.
All together, I think everybody on the team got close to like 625, 650.
Right.
And you know, we all kids from the hood, whatever. You know what I mean? We ain't used to having
Right. He was eating.
We was eating good, and it was paying for all the food too. So you know, like, so it was like, oh man, like.
Yeah.
But when I got to Westchester though, they was like $7, $8. I'm like, and we gotta buy the food.
Right.
I was like, oh, listen, bro, I'm not.
Right. It was different.
Yeah, it was different. It was different. Like, it was definitely not as much money, gear, and all that stuff like that. You know, me and Blair, Coach Blair, both heads a lot of times in that type of situation. He thought I was a prima donna kid, but I was like, yo, I'm used to this. Like, you know what I mean? So it was a little bit different, but like, you know, all in all, like after the years went by, like, you know, me and him came to a common ground, so we figured out what we both wanted. Like, we both wanted to win.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, when I first got there, I was a leading scorer of the team at one point, averaging probably 16 points a game, playing a whole lot, and it was like I felt like I got all this rope when I first got there. Like basically, like you got the green light, and then after a while, it was like I don't know how much took too many green lights. Green lights started turning red. You know what I mean? So I must have took a wrong turn somewhere, and then me and him we was beefing a lot. You know what I mean? We was beefing a lot, and then you know I got hurt. Had the red shirt the following year, the sports hernia. I was out for a while, gained a whole bunch of weight. I was like, you know, I'm only 5'10", 5'11". I was like 225. It was bad. I was out here looking crazy.
Big guard.
Big guard. But you know, I came back. I had to lose the weight, get back on the team to try out and nothing like that. But like I was, you know, I had to get back into a spot where I was comfortable playing basketball and, you know, just relearn a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Because at one point in time, I couldn't walk. You know what I mean? So we got back to that point, and you know, I came back to a winning team too. So like, you know, they had just did they win the chip that year? Pretty sure they did. It beat East Stroudsburg. Had a good team. So I'm coming back to a team that just so all that rope that I had and all that stuff was. I had to start from gain the trust, gain minutes, all that type of stuff like that. Like I wasn't a starter, none of that type of stuff. And I was really playing out of position because when I went down, it was another Division I guard came in. You know what I mean? So it was like, damn, now I gotta really, you know what I'm saying? So it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. But you know, me and Blair, like we really sat down, talked plenty of meetings back to back, and we really came to a common ground of, you know, as me maturing as a basketball player and as a human being. You know what I mean? That's where it really came down to, like me maturing as a basketball player and him like kind of respecting like what I needed and what was going on, you know what I mean? And we came to a common ground, like, I want to win, you want to win. How can we get this thing going? Because like I need to play basketball. Like this is my thing. Without basketball or sports or whatever, college, I don't know if I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? So, we came to that common ground. The following year, my senior year, we had a great season. We lost the championship. We made the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we were top 20 team, nationally ranked, and all other stuff like that. I was a point guard on that team. I probably only averaged like 12, 13 points a game. But for me to do that, and for other people, for us to be great, I had to do some of those sort of things, take the back seat, let other guys shine on our team. Shout out to my guy Trez, lead scorer of our team that year. 1,000-point scorer. Trez did a lot of good things for us. But yeah, that was pretty much it in a nutshell.
No, so that's a story that actually our current team needs to hear right now.
Right.
I'm not gonna say you sacrificed for the team for your senior year.
Right.
You came back, like you said, matured, and it was about the team. It was about winning first and foremost. Although you want to contribute and you want to play and do your thing, but the most important thing is winning.
Right.
And that's a message that our team needs currently. Is that it's not about anybody individually.
Right.
It's about how good we are as a group. Because the better we are as a group, the better it's going to be for everybody individually.
Right.
So I'll definitely make sure I share this message with them.
Right. Because at the beginning of the season, he came to me and was just like, because we had another transfer coming. He transferred from a Division III school. He was a D3 All-American and all that. So he wanted to play his last year at Westchester. My guy Rashid, and did I think Rashid was anywhere near as good as me? No, not at all. She was a good player and everything like that, but it was like Blair was like, yo, for everybody to be happy and for us to win some games, you might not be starting. And I was like, hurt my heart at first, like, my senior year, I'm not starting?
Right.
Like, I'm thinking I'm going into the year about to score, a double game, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. But it was just like, all right, I understand, this is what I gotta sacrifice to, for us to be on common ground, for us to, we gotta come there, we wanna win. Mm-hmm. So I understood it at the end of the day, and that's what happened.
So you finish up your career at Westchester. After that last game, what's next for you? What you thinking? Is it like I'm about to go be a pro? Is it I'm about to NBA draft? I don't know. Everybody has different thoughts after their senior year. What was it for you? What was the mindset?
Man, I had tunnel vision. My thing for me was becoming a pro basketball player. Mm-hmm. It was like, all right, how can I be a pro? You know what I mean? It wasn't like I wasn't an All-American coming out my senior year. I didn't average 20 points a game, so I know it's going to be hard to get there. You know what I mean? So after Westchester, I was working out heavy. I did 100 different combines. Them joints was all scams. I feel like you know what I mean? Like right after our last game, probably a couple weeks later, this one agency actually hit up our coach. It was like, yo, can we get us a gym so we can have a combine, we'll let your players in for free. Mm-hmm. So, me and Trez, we went to the combine. I think it was at was it at Ruston or Westchester East? One of them schools in Westchester. Mm-hmm. So we went to the combine. They had to do lane slides. How many lane slides you get a certain amount of time, vertical jump, sprints, all that type of stuff. So, skills drills and all that stuff like that. So I killed all. I was in crazy shape. Right. And we get to the games, like me and Trez was the lead scorer. We was the best two players there. Right. And we we just killed all these dudes. Like we probably had 20 something apiece every game. Like, and I still got those highlights to this day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they post the highlights online and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I know I'm getting a job off this. Like, they talk about people here, Europe, everywhere else. I'm like, oh yeah, we out Trez. Nothing came from it. Right. Nothing. And it's crazy because it's like they have all these people paying all this money, and it's just like y'all looking for certain. They already know what they want. They already know what they're looking for. They know what these coaches are looking for. So I guess they was looking for bigs and bigger guards,
Right.
at least 6'2", 6'3", you know what I mean? And, you know, I was a smaller guard, but I was just like, my heart make up for my height, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can put me on the court with somebody 6'8", like, I guarantee I get more rebounds than him. Like, that was my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I did a lot of combines, went to Vegas, did those combines, top 5 player, all these write-ups. Every combine I went to, top 5 player, write-ups, all-star game. I remember one time from one combine, they took me to Mexico. Mm-hmm. So I played in the LNBP, I think it was like the top league in Mexico, something like that. Just playing over there. I was down there for a week. Shout out to my guy for the kill because he was on the team with me. You know, Jay Will from New York. Mm-hmm. That's my guy with the Texas Tech. He was on the team with me. And we get down there, and you know they called us. They asked us to come play in this joint because they were taking the team down there to see if we could play down there. Right. We get down there, and it was crazy. Mexico's crazy. Like I don't have no money. Right. I'm spending all my coins on trying to be a pro, bro. Right. Working out, getting my body in shape, gym time. And at the time, I don't have no job. Right. Like every little bit scratch I get, bro, is going to. I'm taking trips places. You know what I mean? To play here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going on this tour, and I had to pay for. I think I had to pay for my flight. Everything else was taken care of. So I had to get a flight to Texas or something like that, and then we all took like a little shuttle, not a shuttle bus, but like they got a big bus for us, and we drove into Mexico. Right. But it's like, yo, this costs money, bro. I'm broke. Right. And you got me in Mexico. Right. Terrible. This country isn't great. Right. Pretty poor country. Certain places we was at, and it was just like, y'all playing with me. Like I'm trying to do this seriously. Like I'm taking this to heart. Y'all playing with me. Like so. We actually ended the tour early. Me and Jay Will left. Me and Jay Will left. Like. And Sammy was playing pro at the time. I think I called Sammy and was just like, yo, bro, you gotta get me out of here. Like, I'm out here for no reason. Like, play me 2 minutes. Yeah. Like, I'm like, it's like we're not in college. It's not the time where you can sit here and wait. Right. Like, we're only here for a week.
This is not the time.
This not the time to be. Yeah, this not the.
What's this best for the team?
Yeah, like, yeah, you want to come out here and win, but I gotta be able to showcase my talents for me to get a job. Right. So I'm here playing. You out there. Yeah, that's why I'm out there, and I'm like. I get in for these 2 minutes, or first game he played me 2 minutes. I'm like, yo, coach, what's going on? Like, you got me out here, you know what I mean? These dudes that are playing, some of these dudes was on my team. Right. I was a top 5 player in the same combine, and everybody like, what's going on? Like, you brought me out here because it looked good on paper or something? Like, I'm confused. So, you know, and I'm just like, I'm spending more money as I'm out here because y'all not paying for everything. Right. You know what I mean? They travel hotels and all, but I had to buy my own food and all that other stuff. So I'm just like, come on, I gotta go back home. Like I called Sam was overseas, maybe he was taking his money already. So I said, Sam, you gotta get me out of here, bro. I'm not playing. Right. Like I thought I had a shot out here with this. We get ready to go to our last game. I played 3 minutes. Next game he played me 6 minutes. Played me 6 minutes. I had 6 points, 2 steals, 3 rebounds. Because as soon as I got on the court, I'm getting busy. Right. Took me out the game. I'm like, so I started asking people who we playing against. I'm talking to people. I'm trying to network while I'm out there. But nobody know me. Like the agent's not working for me out here. It's tough. Right. They don't have no film of me. Like ain't like you the person on the bench. Like why you even? So it was tough. So I was just like, man, let me just get out of here because we only here for a week. Right. You know what I mean? So got right about here.
So you mentioned combines. You mentioned you went out there to Mexico. Mm-hmm. Why are you still pursuing to be a professional basketball player? What are some other avenues you might have took? Like you chasing this dream. What I want you to give advice to people that's also in this position. Like all the things that you were going through to pursue your dream. Man, you already gave a lot, by the way. Yeah. You was investing in yourself. Mm-hmm. That's a jewel. That's a gem that a lot of people they're not even they want other people to invest in them to go do something else. But you were betting on yourself, and you were attending these combines, which you call them scams, which I believe a lot of them are scams as well, or money grabs, as people like to call them. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, twice a week, at least twice a month, somebody hit me up. How can I get overseas? Who can I talk to? Such and such. So you're talking to that demographic right now, like, you know, all the things you went through to pursue.
It's first of all, I want to let y'all know that I went through a lot of heartbreak. It was probably the toughest years of my life was probably not being able to get to that point in my life. And I was so close in certain different times of my life. I was so close. Like even after Mexico, I was doing different things, and I thought I was finally breaking through, and then I get hurt. The thing I probably did in my life so far, or one of the biggest things, was deciding not to pursue basketball. Like, I probably cried plenty of nights. I was going overseas with my brother, practice teams, I'm doing everything, buying flights. I'm going to all these countries you know what I mean? It costs money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm spending every little bit of money I made, training and all the other stuff like that. And I really just decided, it was like, how long am I going to keep doing this? I'm only getting older. Younger players coming out of college every year, going overseas to these places. And then after a while, it's just like, I'm this good player that I think I deserve a chance to be playing somewhere. And I'm not talking high league here. I'm not talking making 15 grand, 20 grand a month.
Opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity somewhere. Second division somewhere. In some countries, start third division somewhere. Maybe make my way up. The opportunity to play and showcase my talents. You know what I mean? And I just really wasn't getting it. Yeah, I was getting those offers. You know those offers. Asking me to play for $500 a month. Live in some shack. Might be playing. And no, don't get me wrong. No disrespect to nobody. If y'all decide to do that in your career, you understand. But that wasn't for me. You know, because I thought I was better than that. You know what I mean? Because it was killing my pride at the end of the day. Like, God offered me to go play $500 a month in some poor country or something like that. It was just like, I'm playing against dudes that's, you know what I mean, and I'm hanging with them or beating them. Like, these dudes is making $20,000 a month in top leagues, winning chips and this and that. And I'm like, yo, I'm not saying that I'm just as good or whatever, but I can be playing this, you know what I mean? Like, so it was just like spending all that money, wasting all that time, and I had my own little business. So it was just like, I was building my business up and then leaving. And every time I left, I was getting so much disappointment and heartache that I would come back to now, my business is suffering. I would have to build that business back up. Every year it was like, all right, I'm building up, I'm training people, I'm having events, I'm having camps, you know what I mean? I'm building my clientele. And then I leave for 3 or 4 months, and then I come back, I gotta start from ground zero again. Like, how long am I gonna keep doing this to myself? I'm trying to network, I'm trying to meet new people, I'm trying to, build business. I started my own business, training and all that, and it was just like, I'm leaving all my clients behind, you know what I mean? Trying to do what's best for me, but it wasn't working out. So it's just like, really, sat down with my folks, my brother, and was just like, man, it's a wrap. Like, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. It was like, my first love really ain't throwing the love back. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it was tough, man. Like I said, cried plenty of nights about it.
No, man, it's definitely not easy to do. Speaking for somebody who just did it recently, definitely not easy to do. I want to get into next. I want to get into because you still. So this is retired rep podcast, right? So it means you retired, but it's still a rep. You're still getting a little bit of rep.
Right.
So I want to get into the Danny Rump Classic. That's the best. It's the best for people who don't know. It's the best 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days of basketball in the country, in my opinion.
Yes.
In the country.
That's probably in the country.
It's 5 days, Thursday to Monday. It's the top rep that you're gonna get that summer for those 5 days. Anyway.
Facts.
Talk to me about the Danny Rump Classic and just first of all what it means to you to you be playing for the home team, and just like the experience with that. I mean you've cooked numerous amounts of people that I witnessed you do it, and yeah, just talk to me about the Rump Classic because that's a special event for the city.
Well, I just like to say Danny Rump Classic is a great event every summer put on by Mike Borak, Sharif Hanford, Sharif Bray. All those guys, it's a big number, list of people that contribute to the Rump and run it, and it's something great for our city every summer. The Rump for me was my chance to let people know that I'm the caliber of player that they didn't choose.
Right.
Like I always played with a chip on my shoulder. It was time for me to let everybody know that I'm not playing professional basketball because I was a bum.
Right.
And because they not looking my way, they overlooking me or something. I don't know. But my thing was like, and honestly, I thought that the Rump was my chance to get overseas.
Right.
That was my first thing. Like maybe I do well in this tournament, I get this film. There's definitely agents in the building.
Right.
Maybe I can reach out to one of them. Yo, you see me just kill your player?
Right.
Like, is there a shot for me in this? Didn't turn out that way. But, you know what I mean? Like, playing in the Rump definitely was my chance to showcase that I can play with a lot of these guys that's playing pro basketball. I'm better than a lot of these guys that's playing pro basketball. Just show my talents.
Right. No, it's definitely a sight to see every summer. That's something to look forward to. Everybody going down the Rump, and you're one of the people that a lot of people are going to see. And I learned that late. I learned that post retirement because I was playing. I'm like, I used to go to the Rump just to if I played, it was just rec.
Right.
But this year I was like, this is retired rec summer. So I'm like, I'm coming. Like, I want people. This is how you just said it. I said I want people to know that I'm retired because. I want to be a family man. I want to pursue coaching, not because I'm trash.
Right.
So that's why I was out there. But no, all you hear is, what time Rump Center play? They talking about SJ. So that was cool to experience. Even my team, people that's on my team, Man, and
right.
Yeah, every time you play, SG play that. Yeah. So there was people be excited to see you play, and that's still cool, man. That's still just cool to feel and to experience that. It's still dope.